Alright guys, now we are on the second worksheet for the data analysis. Okay, so in this data analysis chapter, second worksheet, we're going to look at cumulative frequency diagrams. So we have really learned how to fill in cumulative frequency table in the last lesson, right? So we just add up all the numbers before that. So for example, in the previous worksheet, we have learned about the farmer collecting 330 eggs, and the last column must match the total number. Okay, you'll just keep on adding until you get 330. This is what we call the cumulative frequency table. Okay, however, there is one limitation on using the table here, because we are not able to find, for example, I want to have a specific number rather than interval of 5, 5, 5, like 35, 40, 45, 50, right? For example, if I want to estimate for less than 48 or less than 53, this is not in the table. I'm not able to see it. So what we can do is we make use of another representation that we call it the cumulative frequency curve. Okay, we use a curve instead. So you see that when you draw the histogram, okay, as seen from yesterday, when you draw the histogram, you're going to have a bar that keep going higher and higher and higher starting from 0 until you reach the number 330. Now, you take the corners of the histogram and then you connect them with a line. You will produce a curve. Okay, so from the histogram, you can produce a curve here. Okay, from the histogram. So with this curve here, you can deduce things. I mean, this is not the exact number, but it is a very good way for us to do a very good estimation on the number. Like for example here, if I want to find out 48, I can just draw from dotted line up to 48, and I go across, I can realize that it is about 140, whereas 53, I can just from the graph see that is 255. So there is a very good reason and good use for us to learn how to read the cumulative frequency curve, because it's able to tell us data. Alright, we can even use it to find a range in between them. So we're going to see how we do it. We will make use of the cumulative frequency to illustrate how to analyze it. I will go through example 1, okay, and then I want the class now, okay, to do the rest of the example. Try to do it by yourself. Okay, check the answers with your friends first, and then after that, come back to the next video to check the answers for the rest of the questions. Okay, so the first question I'll go through with you. So you have an example 1. You have a graph of 250 pupils, and you have the marks, maximum mark 50. Question 1. Use the graph to estimate the number of people who score 40 marks and below. So I want the class to not rush this through. Think 40 marks and below. So what does it mean? I'm going to look at the number 40 here. Draw a dotted line using pencil. Okay, I'm going to erase it later on my screen. So when you draw, you can use pencil also. Draw the dotted line using pencil on the mark 40, okay, because it says 40, right? 40 and below. How many students are there 40 and below? I'm going to draw dotted line across. So let's count the boxes now. So when I go from 40 to the curve and I find the value that it casts my cumulative frequency table, I can realize that every 2 boxes this is 210, 220, 230, and here I get that this is 240. So you need to count very, very carefully and properly. So the number of pupils who score, is it 240? Now I need to, less than 40 marks means it's all those people right here. Remember, this was supposed to be a histogram like that. Then after that, because of easy calculation, we convert it to a curve. Now in this diagram, we draw it like that. The number is 240. It makes sense. It's 240 pupils in total. Then part B, the number of people who score 15 marks and above. Okay, I want you to take very close look at the word below and above. Okay, so before we do any calculation, let's find out which point it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15 and above. It's right here. It's actually 50. Okay, there are 50 students. But what does this 50 means? I want those who score above 15. So when I see the number 50 here, it means that there are 50 people who score 15 and below. Do I want to count them based on part B? No. I have a total of 250 students. 50 of them score below 15. The question wants above. So I must take 250 minus away 50, and I get that there's 200 pupils. So you have to be careful of the word below and above, okay? And the last one, the percentage of pupils who score between 10 to 30 marks. Okay, so now they give you a range. They only want those between 10 to 30. So this is where I would want to erase so that it's easier for me to see. For you, if you are okay with it, you can leave it there. You don't have to erase it. So between 10 and 30. So let's see, between 10, this is 20 and 30. So if I draw the dotted line down, use a ruler please for you guys, and I go across, I will get this. Okay, I'll get a value of 215. You see, there is actually a large number of students that score between 10 and 30, right? So how do I calculate this in between? Now you take a look. I want you to consider together with me. They want between 10 and 30. So what if I tell you that you can look at the 30 first? This is the total number of students that score below 30. But I don't want those who score less than 10. So how do I calculate? I will take 215 minus 20. So total there are 195 pupils. That's it. And I want you guys to try to do the rest of the question. Finish them first, and then you can check the answer. Okay?